What's up? Yeah, I got some good news and I got some weird news. I should actually explain. One, like something about doing platform crossplay, which I really doubt that's gonna happen, because if it did, it would actually be exclusive for some. And Microsoft said they had no interest in exclusive video games, so I see them contradicting themselves. Microsoft, please, don't do this. Go one way or the other. If you plan on selling the pitch like that, you gotta have to come forward for some for exclusive game that can actually crossplay. I'm just warning you right off the bat. On the other hand, let's talk about Coke's history. The bad parts of it first. Then we'll go to the good parts later on. 1935, they actually had Coca-Colas inside the soda, which Coca-Colas was actually formulated to cure addiction to morphine, which he never cured, and that time he actually died. And next, 1940 or 1950s, somewhere around there somewhere. Coca-Cola Company wasn't really doing that good back then either. And that's when the owner and the founder of Coke. And people think this is how Coke actually got its name. No. What actually, it was already called Coke before then, so that would have to do with the Coca-Colas, not the cocaine that was in the second one. And yet, but they legalized it back then. They legalized it back then, so it was banned from any soft drink. Then all of a sudden, the syrup founder actually introduced himself to the people, and they started formulating syrups and all that. And it's actually an okay partnership. And that was around 1940s or 1950s. Can't say for sure, but I know it was back then, sometime back in the 19th. And yet, that's not what actually gave them the break. What actually, and all that, what I actually found out is there was a lot of false advertising about Coca-Cola back in the past. But here's the good news about Coca-Cola that actually made them a classic hit. They weren't actually a financial breakthrough until Shimmy 1 and 2. I can guarantee you that. And that was around 1999. So, I'll actually be honest with you, that was around 1999. And the second one was 2000, so that was actually a classic hit and a classic breakthrough. So, at that point, it became a classic drink for the people that should be fanatics. Yeah, and yet, you don't realize that Shimmy is most a positive outlook on life. And there's history of Coca-Cola in that, and Coca-Cola needs to realize that. So in a way, Coca-Cola needs to owe Sega a favor. Because back then, Sega was doing great. Especially the Sega Saturn, Sega Dreamcast, you name it, back then Sega was doing great at that time. But Coke wasn't doing all that well back then. So, here's my opinion here. It was for Shimmy 1 and 2. I don't think Coke will be a success as it is now, as of today. And let me tell you something about Coke. Because it's at 6 teaspoons of sugar. And guess how much is in Coca-Cola, Cokes, and soft beverages already. And all cans of beverages, you got 16 teaspoons of each Coke product. 16. Add it up, and you're gonna end up getting a lot more than what you want. And you don't drink in a moderation, you're gonna end up with rotten teeth, high blood pressure, dopamine effect. Dopamine is the same. It's actually a chemical that actually represents the sugar effect of it. It's like the effect. If you ever tried this one drug, you would actually know what it is. It's the same effect as heroin. So don't get me wrong on that. That's the sugar talk and not the chemicals inside the soda. So there's also been some negative talk about Coca-Cola on the internet. There's been some rumors about it, which weren't actually true. If they ask for your personal information, be cautious. That's all I'm trying to say. Just be cautious when they ask for your personal information. On the other hand, Coca-Cola history is like back then was bad until Shimmy 1 and 2. That's when it was a true hit back then. And here's something that people should know. Shimmy 1 and 2 are classics to this day. They're known as the legacy of all time, and no other game can actually compare to it. To be honest, it was not even meant to be for the 1999s or the 2000s for that matter. It's a game ahead of its time. No matter what you think, it's going to still be a game ahead of its time. And yet, no other game console can compare with it. Yeah, Xbox is okay, but they banned that once that guy got into Microsoft. Yeah, so now that game doesn't exist anymore. I tried. I looked for it already. So technically, there's one point of view, perspective. Oh, and by the way, I was interested in playing Shimmy 1 and 2. I found out that all the Sega Dreamcast has already been sold out. So, technically, Sega Dreamcasts are rare to come by now these days. On the other hand, like I said, Shimmy is what PlayStation should have been like. That should have been like that. The realisticness and greatness of weight. The only problem they actually pulled off was on the QTEs, and that was it. They couldn't actually get to the centers like, man, Yu Suzuki is actually a famous creator. If you wanted to, you could take Shimmy in the next direction if you wanted to. I'm just saying. Shimmy is a legacy game that needs to be of all time on the highest market scale. No game can actually compete with Shimmy 2. I know, I played it, and I never played 1. But I hear people actually said it's a legendary video game, but I can tell it was a legacy of its time. But we need to know for sure that there will be a possible remake in the near future. for the PS4. Because I love Shimmy too. And I love Japanese animes. When I'm playing Shimmy, I think about Funimation. Which Funimation is a good company. It's so fun to watch. Like Rosetta Vampire, for instance. Seeing this guy always getting bite by a vampire was so funny. And Cowboy Bebop's a Japanese anime. But I don't think it's for Funimation, no. But what I can say that is for Funimation would be Dragon Ball Z. That's good. And Freezing Vibration, Freezing Vibration. Those are all Funimations, which are good. Grills Bravo. And just actually just crazy a lot of things. I was just hoping they would make me 1 and 2. Because not everybody had a chance to play the first one, but everyone that had an Xbox actually played the second one for a short period of time. I can tell it was a legacy of its time. Into the Xbox. But I know it can last for the Xbox. That's all I'm trying to say. And if the PS5 does come out, it'll be in 2019. But I don't think Sony is interested in making a new console. Because I think the PS4 is doing very well at the time. And if they need to, they will make one. But right now, I don't think they feel the need. That's all I'm trying to say. And like I said, no game can compare to Shimyu. Like, if Suzuki wanted to, you could actually make it into a cartoon for Funimation. That'd be interesting. Because I do think of Shimmy as a Japanese anime. It was so cool to think about that way. I'm just saying. It'd be interesting to see something positive out of the whole fact. But on the other hand, it's just speculation. But on the other hand, it'd be cool if the remakes do come out pretty soon. Coca-Cola owns Sega. They really didn't even have to put the Coca-Cola Company logo on the vending machines. So that was Coca-Cola's success in the 1999s. So that was Coca-Cola's whole history about bad and all the way to the good point. Later. Bye.